And welcome now to our Just Pause practice. Our practice is that space that we create a calm abiding so that we can peel back the layers of our armor, of our performance, of our living in accommodation to find that true, deeper self. The poem that I'm going to share with you is from Lisa Lowitz, and it calls that space the Zen space, being Zen. So Zen comes more from the Buddhist tradition. In the yoga tradition, that's the Ananda, that's the Samadhi place. Ananda meaning joy and bliss. Samadhi being that progression of Patanjali's 8 limbs that says the oneness. Well, we can't get to the oneness until we recognize what is not true, the myths that we believe, right? So we find our space, cultivate an asana, a sit. We welcome the breath, and then we begin the journey of meditation, the pause. So find your sit, and then find your breath. And although we're not practicing pranayama as a distinct practice today, it is the invitation to check in on the flow of breath. Pranayama is the specific controlling of the breath to cultivate that intimacy. But in most of my day-to-day living, I'm not paying attention to the breath. So even as I come into meditation, there's a few rounds of mindful samavriti, even breath in and out, until I can let go of that mind control of that samavriti and land in just allowing. If that is available, then we move into the turning the senses inward, the pratyahara, and then into the final 3 stages of meditation. So with all of that philosophy aside, come back to the practice, come back to the experience in this moment, a blend of the inquiry and the observation. What does it mean to be Zen? To do nothing? Think nothing? Be nothing? Impossible. To be Zen is just to be yourself. Not name, nor job, nor history. Not likes nor dislikes, thought or no thought, desire or despair. But what is self? Where does self reside? Hint, in what we do for others. Most difficult of all is to meet yourself where you are and abide there completely, just as you are. Accepting whatever arises from moment to moment. All else happens on its own accord. In other words, to find Zen, we begin by cultivating this calm abiding space and then cultivating an allowing, a being with what is. And in that allowing, we let go of what's not needed, we let go of what's not true, in order to see what is true, what is real, what is here, this clearer seeing. And at the end of that clearer seeing path, we find our nature. In yoga, we call that the Atman, that pure center, the divine spark of the universe that lives within. In the Buddhist tradition, that is called the Buddha nature, that which makes us like Buddha, the wise teacher, the enlightened one. Whether or not you fully believe that this goodness spark, this Buddha nature lives within you, the practice says, fake it until you make it. Suspend the fear of it not being true to the extent that you can consider it as a possibility. Make space for the possibility that compassion, loving kindness, goodness is your true nature. Everything else is the armor and the protection, the layers that we put on ourselves in fear. So we create this calm, abiding space. We create this safe pause in our day to feel the breath, to be with the consequences of our labor, our story, and to see again without fear of judgment, to sort out what is true, what is untrue. And maybe, just maybe, we can invite a soft smile as an opening to this shift of allowing, this shift of trusting the Buddha nature that is. The mind should wander to anything other than your sense of calm abiding, your allowing what is, your residing in the truth of your Buddha nature, your Atman. Everything else is reminder that that too can be let go. Come back to the breath, come back to the sensations in the body, come back to the mantra even of I am safe, I am well, I am worthy, I am safe, I am well, I am worthy. I am safe. I am well. I am worthy. You repeat this mantra or choose your own. This one merely reflects often the challenge I experience in overcoming the fears, the egos, the myths. I am safe. I am well. I am worthy. As I recite this mantra, I can feel that shift in my manas, my psychological well-being, because the smile becomes easeful. This aligning of my intention to be that Buddha nature, and the believing that it is true. The energetic expression of that just radiates with a little more ease in the muscles of my mouth, my cheeks, my eyes. And it's okay if your face doesn't smile. But can you feel that joy, that happiness, that levity and love when you remember that you are safe, you are well, you are worthy? And gratitude might be the beginnings of that sense of happiness and joy. Maybe there is a naysayer in your headspace or your heart space, a voice that challenges these statements of, I am safe, I am well, I am worthy. Or maybe it doesn't even show up until you start to smile. Who are you to smile? Who are you to feel joy? Who do you think you are? I am Atman. I am Buddha. I am practicing to become like Buddha, to become my best self. This is yoga. We begin again every time we notice the misalignment, the malalignment, the myth, and the untruth. We don't ignore it. We don't deny it. We see it for what it is. The invitation to clearly see what is. To meet yourself where you are and abide there completely. I am safe. I am well. I am worthy. To be Zen is to be yourself. To be yourself is this practice of peeling back the layers of untruths, layers of learned behavior, of performance, of trying to fit in, that cover up the truth of that Atman, that Buddha nature. And perhaps you could say that our yoga journey is the remembering the rediscovering the beauty of that Atman nature, that Buddha within. I'm safe. I am well. I am worthy. I am safe. I am well. I am worthy. Mind has wandered. Notice and bring it on back to this moment. What a beautiful opportunity to begin again, just as you are. You can't do this wrong. You can't do this bad. Let's begin again. I am safe. I am well. I am worthy. My invitation to you today is to continue with this mantra or write your own. And then maybe you sprinkle it throughout your day till you use it in those moments where you feel unsafe, you feel unworthy. And it's not that we're going to necessarily fix the unsafe spaces in our lives, but maybe we can notice them and shift where they are and whether or not we even go there, whether it's a physical space that's unsafe or a mental, emotional space, a relationship that is unsafe. The mantra practice helps us to see more clearly. The meditation practice cultivates that space for calm abiding. And then it grows into our day-to-day living just by a natural consequence of the energy we've given it here in this safe space. So one more round. Draw the breath in. I am safe. I am well. I am worthy. As we close this practice, is there anything that you want to remember? Maybe that becomes a note that you jot down in a journal for yourself. Maybe that becomes an affirmation that you take into your next practice. Maybe it's just the reminder that you can do this thing. You can do hard things, like being still and quiet. You can be brave and investigate what is. Opening up your senses to notice the space that you occupy, the room that you are in, the sounds, the smells, the sights, maybe even the tastes and the textures. And sometimes after our practice of going in, when we come back out, we see things with new eyes. We hear things perhaps we didn't know we weren't hearing before. And this too is evidence of our clearer seeing, our truer knowing, because we can begin again with that permission that I am no longer who I was. I am now perhaps more my true self. And my true self can see all and know all in ease. The Atman, the divine spark. May you breathe deeply and move freely. May you labor lovingly and live vibrantly. May you be your best true self. Namaste. Well done.